I'll start. What's going on here? Sorry guys, having a technical difficulty here. Everyone else see what I'm doing here, right?
Yeah.
And you can see that it's not working, like I'm not. Let's not do that. Holy cow. This may not work here. I may have to. Okay, so let's go here. So factor Bailey was trying to say before I cut it off. -3 bracket x squared plus 5 over 3x plus 1. Okay. All right, Quinn. You might have been here in 2 days. I'm going to pick on you now. What's the next step, please?
Keep the factor and divide by exponents.
Great. Okay, I'm not going to pick on Quinn. I'm going to pick on Jennifer. What is 5 over 3 over 2 going to equal, please?
5 over 6.
Good. And the way you knew that, of course, was because when you're dividing by 2, the denominator is getting bigger. Like it's getting smaller, right? So it's going over to 5 over 6 squared. All right, Grace, what's 5 over 6 squared equal to, please?
25 over 36.
25 over 36. You want to see something interesting about this? There's now 13 pages. Remember when I hit it 12 times and nothing came up? There's not. It says there's 13 pages. I'm having problems today, folks. I don't know what I'm going to do here. Okay, I may have to start over. What happened? Can I start from there? I'm going to start a new screen. Sorry, let's just stop this video. I'm going to get this class started over. You guys can give me the first line from there. All right, so let's go back. Sorry, guys. Can somebody give me that equation here once I open this up? All right, so I think it said something like it was y equals -3x squared plus 5 over 3x with plus 1.
Yeah.
So then we had 5 over 3 over 2 squared was 5 over 6 squared, which is 25 over 36 squared. All right, Adam, what do I do now, please? Adam? What do I do now, please? Great. Riley, what do you do now, please? Great. Okay, can someone explain to me why, please, I changed it positive 25 over 12? Liam, what did I do? Yeah, remember it multiplies this negative multiplied by this negative, 2 negatives make a positive, right? So 3 times 25 over 36 is 75 over 36, which is the same as 25 over 12. We changed to a plus one. All right, Emily, can you show off your factoring skills, please?
X plus 5 over 6 squared.
Good. Sorry, keep going.
Oh, 37.
Wonderful. All right, Brad. What's my vertex? Which way is it open, please, for f of x?
-5 over 6, 37 over 12.
Great. Wouldn't you love if your parents were in this class? They knew how smart you guys all are. Wouldn't that be nice? Anyway, that's all right. Robin, what's the vertex of the inverse, please? gonna say it opens left. To save time, I'm not gonna graph it, okay, right, but that would be opening down and opening left, that would be how that goes, okay. All right, we'll do a full one of these on Monday. Monday's the review period. Oh shoot, speaking of which, I have a test review to hand out to you guys. I'll do that in a few minutes here, though, okay? Okay, any questions about that? We've done this ton, so hopefully this should be like no problem. We're so good? All right, Matt, you're gonna help me find the equation for the inverse, please. How do you find the equation for the inverse? Somebody help Matt out here. Liam, go. Right. Okay, now if you're like Matt, sorry to embarrass you, Matt, and you freeze on this. Oh, sorry guys, my voice is not on there. Please note, this is going to be on your test next week, this exact question. Okay, so this is one I guarantee that you have to know how to do. I know it's difficult in class because I put pressure, I'm sorry about that, place about pressure, I'm sorry it is. I wish I could tell you that your job is with no pressure. Look at me, I have 30 pairs of eyes looking at me angrily right now. Probably 33 in fact, actually 31. Okay, so I'm going to start off writing here, f of x is equal to negative 3x plus 5 over 6 squared plus 37 over 12. Now, why do I, can somebody tell me, anybody here other than Liam, you're on fire today, let me just say, why do I use this version instead of the standard form? Go ahead.
Standard form, you're dealing with an x, a y, and a y squared.
Yeah. If you were to do that, there'd be like 3 terms and difficult to solve for y that way. You have to do quadratic formula, which is awful. Okay, can someone else tell me then, please, what's my first step going to be here? Okay, go ahead.
Make it y equals negative, and then you switch it to x.
Right. All right, Alana, you're up next. What's the next step going to be here, please?
Okay, so now you have to bring the 37 over 12 over to the other side.
Excellent. X minus 37 over 12 equals negative 3 y plus 5, 6 squared. All right, Olivia, what do we do next, please?
Divide it by the x negative wherever divided by negative 3.
Great. Okay, Cole, what happens next, please? Square root. So it's going to be plus or minus square root of x minus 37 over 12 all over negative 3 equals y plus 5 over 6. I can't remember if it was in this class or in a different class. My brain is muddled today because I'm sick. But please, actually, it was you yesterday at lunch, I think, summer actually. Remember to put your square root goes all the way down to the denominator too, right? Like it's not just, you're not just square rooting the top, you're square rooting the entire thing. And then take you about stuff like that, okay? All right, Tristan, last step's going to be what?
How are you going to move the 5 over 6 over 6? 5 over 6 plus minus.
Negative 5 over 6.
Negative 5 over 6, sorry, plus minus. For x minus 6 over 12.
All right, and remember how the square roots go. The plus or minus, you need the positive square root's going to be like the upper half, the negative square root's in the bottom half. Any question? Right. That's how you graph the sideways parabola. That's what that would be. Right. That would be that's the equation of the sideways parabola. That would be. I think I'm sure I could make a word problem if I needed to. Right. Basically right now, that's the sideways parabola. All right, good. Okay, let's take up 8. I have some questions about 18 as well. It's the worst in the section. Okay, you know, not so many. What's it? 70? What's backwards? Yeah, I guess it's 1.80 right there. All right. Okay. I can see where the difficulty is here right now. Conveniently, please put a star on your heart beside this question if you chose not to do your homework last night. Because this is one that will be also on your assignment and also on your test. Okay, now this one looks awful. I'm looking at some saying, yuck. All right. This one looks a lot like the second question or the third question we did yesterday, which is f of x equals x squared. Remember we did that? And we had to make up our own table of values for it. Okay. And that's what you do for this one as well. So I'm going to write f of x down this way and then fix some points. When x is 0, what's the square root? If I plug f of 0 in, what's that going to equal, please? Oh, goodness. Okay, I need to make sure everyone's here. If you're not here yet, or you're not focused, or you don't know what's going on, this is tremendously important. So on your test, I'm going to give you a messy equation for f of x. You have to make your own chart like this and then do the transformations, okay? So what I'm doing here is, all I'm doing is start picking in nice values for my x values, and I'll plug them into here to get the square root. So the square root of 0 is going to be 0. I'm going to choose 1 and 1. Can someone guess what the next point I'm going to do is here?
2.
I'm not going to do 2. 2 would work. But why is 2 suboptimal? I love that word. 2 is not a nice square root. So what would be a nice next point I could use probably daily? 4 would probably be better. Okay. What's the square root of 4 going to be? And I'm probably going to choose 9 and 3. That'll give us enough of that. So you see what I did there? I just picked a few points along the way. 4 points is probably enough to get a good shape of the graph. Are there any questions on how I did that or why I did that? Because if you take a look at the rest of this question, it's just all transformational stuff then after that. Okay. So what I'm going to do this question first, I'll just pick one. It doesn't really matter which one I do. I'm going to do number C, I think. This one being 8C. All right. Because once you get this, they're all sort of the same. So 8C says negative 2f of, oh goodness, I don't move this down. I'll go to the next page. So the question was y equals negative 2f of negative bracket x minus 2 plus 1. That's what the question was there. That's what I'm going to do now. Yeah. All right. Who did I stop that last?
No, the school.
Oh, I picked on you, Tristan. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to start here with Nicole. I'm going to do, sorry, my voice is dying here, guys. If you can't hear me, I'm sorry. Please say repeat. Give it up higher, too, if you notice that. Okay, I don't know what else sound like here, but all right, Nicole, what does that negative 2 mean in front of the f of x, please? Do you remember?
You have to multiply x by negative 2.
Multiply y, not multiply x, okay? So, it's going to multiply y by negative 2. So that's going to be a transformation here, all it's going to go through. So I'm going to call the points here 0 and 0, 1 and negative 2, 4 and negative 4, and 9 and negative 6. But now it's in a step that we can do. Like once you get to this point, everyone that was here yesterday should be able to do this, right? Once you get to this point, right? I'm sure the difficulty was the beginning. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to do the next part. It's going to be negative 2f of negative x. All right, Adriel, what does that mean, that negative x part? Yeah, good. Divide x by negative 1x. So if you remember there, it's going to be, that's like negative x means like negative 1 times x, right? Okay, so that's going to go to 0 and 0. Actually, maybe just one other thing I should mention. I sort of skimmed over this. I'm sorry about that one. Why did I start at 0 for this equation? Anyone tell me why did I start at 0? Seeing if you guys raise your hand for every question. No one else knows why I started at 0? Luke, why did I start at 0? Yes, but something else I want to say here. Yes, you're thinking too deep though, I think. Yeah, go ahead.
Can't square root of negative numbers.
Can't square root of negative numbers is what I wanted to say for that, okay? That is true, anything inverses, yes, that's true. But I couldn't, if you plugged in -1, there'd be an impossible value, right? 0 is the smallest value that could have worked out. All right, so the next one I'm going to do here, one is going to be -2 f of negative x minus 2. Okay, what's that one going to be, please?
So for every x value,
Yeah.
you subtract 2.
Close, you're going to subtract -2.
Negative.
So it's like it's the opposite. Let's see. Imagine, yeah, too. Imagine you're like solving for x. That's the way I think of it, right? So divide by -1 and then add 2. So add 2 to x. So that's going to be 2 and 0, 1 and -2, -2 and -4, and -7. All right, Austin, -2 f of negative x minus 2 plus 1. What is that, plus 1?
Every y value.
Good. Okay, 1 to 1. I'm going to graph this in a sec too, so just get a little piece of graph paper if you need to. 2 comma 1, 1 comma -1, -2 comma -3, -7 comma. Okay, if you weren't here yesterday, this won't make any sense. Everything I posted up here tonight, sorry, I still rolled out of here yesterday quickly. For those that weren't here yesterday, are we okay on where all this stuff is coming from? Brown as well? Matt, as well. Good. Yes, no comment? All right, let's graph this up quickly and then we'll go. So if you weren't here yesterday, the idea of this is, what we're doing is, if you remember in grade 10, you did graph a parameter transformation, then you move it up and all this. It's like 5 graphs on one piece of paper, and it was awful. All we're doing is we're going right to the end step and one step here. Okay, so we're doing the transformations in a table, and we're just going to graph the last set of points here. Okay. So here comes the graph. If you're saying, Mr. Sadler, I want to graph this in my head, please don't. Do this on paper, please. Oops. I had a fight with my grade 10s this morning. My grade 10s are nice people. Like they're only little, but grade 10. And they said to me, because what happened was we were solving intersecting lines by graphing. And then today, Riley, give me your phone, please. Then today we finally showed them substitution. And they were so mad at me. They said, why do I have to graph ever? The grade 10 voice. And I said, because you can see things. The idea of this is that this graph, even with the transformation, should still look like a square root graph. Okay, right? So you should know what a square root looks like. Like it looks like this. This graph should still look sort of like that. It'll be compressed and go over the place, right? But it should still look the same. All right, so I need to get to -7. I need to get down to -5. So I'll do something like this. Everybody get that line right? Okay, so there's my y. There's my x. I have to get down to -5, so that's a lot of room. Now, one of the reasons I'm taking a lot of time to do this is that there's a question very much like this on your choice assignment you may have or may not have seen. Okay? All right, so here we go. 2 and 1 is right here. 1 and -1 is right here. All right. -2 and -3 is right here. And -7 and -5 is down here. All right, so the question is going to be, which way does this graph go? Does it go from right to left or left to right? It goes right to left. How do you know it goes right to left? Sort of, okay. But it could be, the way that I think of it is this, right? You have to look at what the vertex, what the starting point was. What was the original starting point that we had here? Start off at 0, 0. The 0, 0 point corresponds to this point right here, right now. Okay, so that's got to be the start of your graph. We could have kept on going downwards and got more points this way, so that's going to go. So we're going to go down. The graph's going to look something like this. Now, you're probably thinking, well, Mr. Sadler, we said every square root graph looks like this. Take a look. This had a negative in the y, so it's going to flip, and then a negative in the x, so it's going to flip the other way. That's why it's going to be weird like that. All right, domain and range. Who's the lucky contestant for domain and range? Liam, you're so brave today, Liam. I love it. Go ahead. Domain is what? It is a continuous line, yes. Yeah. Yeah, x is less than or equal to. Because again, because we know this original was 0, 0, there could be nothing negative that would work. Can I get a second volunteer to be ready, please? Summer, give me the range. Well, I feel fine from like here down. Like, but from here up, I feel awful, right? So, I've energy today and stuff, right? But like, yeah.
It's better than missing like those 2 weeks that you did.
Well, that was because I was sick from. Well, I know the time from. I'm not gonna show you from where to where, but anyway. All right, good from right now for 8. Do you want me to do 18? Oh, this one goes with what? Oh, goodness. All right, the answer in the back here, I'm just going to hit pause here for 1 sec. I'm not going to do this on the, actually, I think I have this. 22 minutes.